Welcome to TDSB UDL Presents How to Use Headings in Google Docs, Part 1, An Introduction to Headings. My name is Michael Barltrop, and you can find me at Mr. Barltrop on Twitter and at the website whatbinder.com. So what are headings? Headings are things to allow text to stand out and to organize your document. You can see the styles. It normally says normal text here. If you click on the down button, you see that there's title, subtitle, heading 1, 2, 3, and options. I've used the title here and the subtitle here. How do we use them in practice? I'm going to get rid of this. And we can see that I have an essay assignment here. It's pretty wordy. It looks like a wall of text. There are line breaks and there are some paragraphs, which is nice. But by using headings, we can make it a little better. So the first thing that you want to do is you're going to notice that there are a number of different topics here, a number of different essay themes. So let's very quickly just make that a numbered list. Wouldn't it be nice if we could somehow make this stand out? We could make it bold. Alright, it stands out a little bit. But if we want the title to look and stand out, that does the same thing. What if instead we made it bigger? Sure, we could change the font size, but is there an easier way? There is. We can highlight what we want, click on Styles, and select Title. This immediately applies our title style to it. And if we want to make this a subtitle, we can do that. So since we know this is our title and this is our subtitle, we can't use that for these. But we saw that there is something called heading 1. If we highlight that, click on the drop down, and click on heading 1, you'll notice that made it stand out. Not as large as the title, but much more than if I just had have made it bold. We'll see that there's something about a thesis here. We probably want to make that stand out. So yes, we could go up here, but wouldn't that take a lot of time every time we want to change it? Wouldn't it be nice if there was a hotkey? Well, I can let you know that there is. We are going to use Control plus Alt plus 1. And by highlighting the text we want and pushing those buttons, it automatically puts it into that heading. You'll notice there's heading 2 and 3. We can simply use Control, Alt, and then the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a way to get our ideas across. So let's make a new heading up here. This is the introduction to the assignment. So we'll call it Introduction. We'll highlight it. We'll give it heading number 1 with Control, Alt, 1. And then, what if we wanted to call this section Planning Your Essay? We'd make that heading number 1. We don't want these to be the same though, so what are we going to do? We highlight it. We know that we can use our drop down to select heading number 2, or we can simply highlight it and press Control, Alt, 2, and that gives it that heading right there. Now it looks like we have some thesis examples. We probably don't want that to be its own heading. We want to make that a subheading of 2. So we can select heading number 3, or of course we know the easiest way is Control Alt 3, and that has made it a subheading. Planning your essay, we would want to change that. Let's call this Things to Consider. We'll make that a level 2 heading, the same as Essay Theme Thesis. And since these are 3 different ideas, we could use a numbered list, but we'll use a bulleted list here. And after they've considered those, we want them to record things, so we'll make that heading number 3. We'll make this a bulleted list as well. And all of a sudden, very quickly, that essay assignment became a lot more manageable and a lot easier to read. So again, to reiterate, when we want to use headings, we can either use the normal text drop-down, or use the Control-Alt-Number hotkeys. Hopefully this has been a good introduction to how to use headings, with a little bit of a rationale as to why we should use them and how they can make an assignment that's well thought out also be easier to decode and understand by students. In our second part, we'll look at how to make custom headings and styles so that our work pops and doesn't just look like a standard Google document.